So how about a review that doesn't suck and actually has some use case examples on how to use these magnetic holders for your Osmo Pocket 3. And we're gonna get right into it because I got 3 different options here for you. And the real question is there a clear winner? Is one the best, or are they all just kind of like, and you're just gonna have to choose which one you think is the best depending on your application? We're about to find out. So if you're an Osmo Pocket 3 owner like I am, you're probably looking for some different camera cages or magnetic attachments that you can use so you can get extra creative with your shooting here. And so there are 3 different options that I found on Amazon, and I didn't know which one to choose, so I got them all, and they've got some different pros and cons. So we got this first one, the STARTRC right here, which is actually a magnet on the back side, and then it's also got the clip here so you can clip it onto your backpack or something when you're going out hiking, okay? Pretty simple and straightforward. It's got this GoPro style mount right here with the tripod mount underneath that it's gonna attach to on the bottom here. What's kind of nice is that you can easily rotate it and invert it 180 degrees. So if you're clipping it to the right side of your bag or clipping it to the left side of the bag, you can quickly wrap that up and turn it upside down, right, and invert it. So it's really easy in that respect. Then we've got this other one right here, which actually says Flymile on it, but I got it from the BRDRC store or whatever on Amazon. So this one has a similar cage here on the front, but this one just has a round magnet on the back side, and it's kind of got that GoPro attached right here, right? And you kind of go back and forth, okay? And then last but not least, we've got this one right here, and this is the AMAZEAR. I don't know, it's kind of a weird name. This one has the thinnest profile of all and the magnets on the back, but it also hinges here too, okay? So there's some different things to consider here. Now this one probably has the smallest, most compact footprint if you're just looking for something you can put on and keep on all the time. Whereas if you have this, I mean, you're gonna take it out and pull it out, okay? So let's start with this one, because this is actually my personal favorite, but there are some drawbacks, okay? So this one has a magnet on the back side here. It actually has these wings, the GoPro mount wings here, just like that fold out of the way when you're not using them, or if you don't need them, which I like that feature. Now, out of all of these, they're all kind of like plastic, okay? None of these are like, oh my God, that feels so durable and high quality. None of them, okay? So this one on the back, the magnet links in right here, or it locks in place, and there's a little push button back here that allows you to open it. So if you're using this, you can tilt it up, down, like whatever, to the side, okay? So you've got that option here, and then it locks in place. When you come over here to the side, yes, there's these little pinch pieces right here that you push together, or maybe it's a separate, I don't even remember, because I played with it a few times. Okay, let's see. Boom, yeah, you pinch together, and then you're actually able to open up the cage here. So it's not like the most intuitive. It's not like it just snaps open easily. Okay, it's not hard, but it's still kind of plastic. It clips together, and you're putting a lot of trust in those little pieces of you know, these little clasps that lock in place. And I'm gonna show you what it looks like here in just a second, okay? But low profile, like I said, okay? Then we have the other one over here. Okay, this one has the GoPro mount, but if you don't want to use this, right, because that's kind of annoying, then you have to undo the knob right here. Yes, we're going to take it out, boom, but now you still have the little mounting wings right here that are sticking out. When it comes to the cage though, yes, this one has a nice kind of like locking clasp. I like the cage a little bit more because then you close it and then you put it in here, and then it has a pressure lock. So the cage is not going to come off easily or accidentally in comparison to this one up here. Okay, and then last but not least is this one down here, which is the bag clip. Really simple and straightforward. You just screw the Osmo on and off. So it's kind of like you're either going to use it or you're not, but the Osmo will never live on this. Now when it comes time to put the Osmo in the cages right here, okay, we're going to start with this one because I said this is my favorite. That doesn't necessarily mean it's the clear winner at this point in time, okay? But simple and straightforward. The cage folds open like so. You take this, you put it through, or you actually just match it up on top, right? Line everything up, close the cage around behind the backside, boom, it's going to clip and lock into place, and now it's in there, okay? You still have easy access to the buttons, right? The joystick, all of that great stuff. This flips over nice and easy when you want to turn it on, right? And like I said, it's a low profile, so it could live in this cage. And then you've got the magnetics, which we're going to look at here shortly, but you also have the ability to put it to something, whether that's your car or metal, and then angle it down. So that's kind of cool. You might see me do some upward looking shots here with that. So very convenient, very compact. And it's also nice you have access to your SD card on the side here, so you don't need to take it out of the cage if you want to pull the card out for one reason or another. And you've got a slot here on the side if you're using the lanyard with your Osmo Pocket. And then we have this one, the Flymile right here. Remember I said I like the locking latch a lot better. Sometimes you got to be careful because sometimes this latch falls through the hole just like I did right here, and it makes it a little bit weird, and you're like, why won't it close? It looks weird. So you got to pop it back through. So that is something that could have a little bit of improvement, but same thing. Take the Osmo Pocket, line this up, get it over the joystick and all of that good stuff. Come around to the back side. You're going to close it. It's going to have a nice latching sound. like that. Now it's really in there, it's nice and secure. However, this could live on it, but then you've got the finger sticking out the backside. So I kind of like the flat profile of this one comparatively. I think it's a little bit thinner, apples to apples. Yeah, if we were to kind of like line it up, but you've got this. We've also got a cold shoe on the side. So if that's something that is of value to you, that's something you might want to be able to consider. You still have access kind of sort of to the SD card underneath that. And then we still have access over here if you're using the lanyard with that, okay? But aside from that, then when you're ready to use it, you got to come back, you got to attach this, you take it on, you take it off. So it may or may not be something that lives in here all the time. It might just be one extra step of removing things and taking them on and off versus something like this. One thing I forgot to mention about this with the magnetic attachment is this is actually a basic tripod attachment for GoPro, and the magnet just screws right in. So I forgot to mention that right here. So depending, I mean, this could be beneficial if you wanted to stick it on a tripod or use this tripod mount, but if you're just going to use it as a dedicated magnet mount kind of as is without any extra features, right, it just screws in like this right here. And same thing when using the Osmo, you still have the ability to flip the screen naturally and easily to turn it on and off. Now, if we're talking about how good the magnets actually work, now we're on the Flymile, which is the round magnet, but I can come over here, I can stick it right onto my refrigerator here, and we're good. We could do vlogging, things of that nature. You could pull it off. It does have some pretty good grip to it, right? Maybe if I'm coming up over here to my pot rack, which is really high, I still have that ability to tilt down and everything, which is great too. So there are some benefits to that, and I'm actually going to show you one other thing that's really cool. So let's switch over to another unit. Now, if we go with the other camera cage, the AMAZEAR, which has the hinge, more magnet built in. I mean, that one snaps on pretty hard. So if you're trying to do a smooth transition, right, you're going to have to work on it. Now, it doesn't open automatically. You just have to press the little lock on the back side. Now, here's the deal. I can't hinge it all the way down. That's about as much as I can get. I'm probably getting like ½ an inch here because the tripod mount is on the very bottom. So let me see if I can pull that off and how much more I'd actually get. Okay, now I can hinge this down even further, but that's just with it flat on my refrigerator right here. But if we were to move over here to something else, let me put this back on the bottom just so we have it for good measure. Okay, and I put this up here at the top once again where my pot rack is, right? I could have something like this where I'm vlogging and keeping it there. And then if I wanted to hinge it down, I could totally do that too. You might not notice it because of the face tracking that's happening right now. But very convenient to hinge it up and down, and then it pulls off, but it's got really good grip. And last but not least is the magnetic backpack clip here. And we got problems, friends. I put this here on the refrigerator, but just with a little bit of a jolt, it's actually falling off. It's on there, but it's not on there nearly as good as the other two. And the same thing if I come up here, okay, and I put it on my pot rack up high. Sure, that's not too bad, but as soon as I try to hinge it down for one reason or another, right, it starts to fail and fall because of the leverage that's on there. 2 out of 3 aren't bad when it comes to magnetics. Okay, the round one, perfectly flat. The rectangle one, perfectly flat and has probably the most surface area and holds on the strongest in my opinion. However, this one right here, look at this. Look very closely at the clip. You can see that it has a slight arc underneath, or a little arch. Yes, and that means it is not making full contact surface with the metal around it, which allows it to rock because of that. That's a problem, especially if one of the selling features is that it's magnetic. Now, before we wrap up, let me show you something that's actually really cool if you want to get creative with either one of the magnetic cages that actually work and are awesome. So if you want to walk and talk and vlog, and you've got yourself a magnetic holder here in your car, you could seamlessly transition and have vlogging experiences where you're like, all right, guys, come on, let's go do something fun. And then you're instantly driving away in your car while you're vlogging and recording yourself, okay, which is kind of cool. The other option is you can get really creative and have seamless transitions once again, is if you're driving in your car, you get to your destination here, you're like, all right, guys, check out this really cool place that we're at, and then you can grab this and step right out of your car and continue vlogging on for some fun creative shots. Now, out of the 3 of these, is there a clear winner? I don't think so. Is there one that is my least favorite? Yes, it's going to be the backpack clip because I find it dangerous to use it horizontally. Now, if you invert it and you go vertical with it, yeah, it's going to have a better clamping feature here, but not by much. It's just not enough magnet attaching to the metal surface for me, especially to risk it for a $600 camera. But as a backpack clip, it's going to work great if you need something that clips on easily. And does it have some magnetic features to it that might benefit you if you're playing it safe? Absolutely. When it comes to these two over here, man, it's a little bit of a toss-up, okay? It's nice having this one over here because you got that extra tilt angle if you're putting the this thing up high and you're bringing it down, even though the camera would go for you, sometimes you hit those gimbals in, so that's going to give you just a little more freedom. But having said that, I think this one right here, the no-name brand right here, okay, with the hinge on the backside. Yeah, this one is not too bad, okay? I like the small profile. It allows me to keep the camera in it the entire time without having to take it out repeatedly if I don't want to. I think there's a lot of convenience there, and then the fact that it's got the little fingers that fold out. If you want to hook it onto some other type of GoPro attachment, you could do that too. So this one is my favorite, but I wouldn't say this is a clear winner. This one would come in second. And the backpack clip that has magnetics, I mean, it is what it is. Does it work? Yeah. Is it cool? If you're gonna use that and you're gonna go hiking and you need a clip, sure, it might have a benefit, but you might be able to use one of these with something else that you've already got if you have a bunch of attachments already from different GoPros. So hopefully that helps you. I know that might have been a little long-winded, but hopefully you saw enough information to make a better informed decision. And let me know what your comments are down below.